Bows, braces, finger tabs. So now it's time to pull some strings. Bowstrings. There were lots of ways to do it. The earliest was simply pinching the end of the arrow between your thumb and forefinger. When bows became more powerful, fingers curled around to help out. And some people, like the Chinese and Mongols, preferred their thumbs.
The thumb hold, or the Mongolian release, was used by many Eastern cultures. In this, the thumb is wrapped around the string and locked by the fingers. As you draw the string back, it bites right into the thumb. So, you could use a thumb ring to make a smooth, easy release.
And as many Asian warriors found, the Mongolian release was very effective. The draw we will use is the Mediterranean hold. One finger goes above the arrow, two below.
To the left.
We've enlisted the help of Steve Ralphs, an expert archer, to help teach our team.
All right, whole books have been written about what we're about to do, shooting the bow, especially one in 1545 by Roger Ascham.
A fine fellow who knew all about archery but nothing about television. So let me summarize. Roger Ascham's 5 points. 1. Standing. Solid, steady, arm out straight. 2. Knocking. Stringing the arrow's knock. Getting ready for 3. Drawing. Quickly followed by 4. The hold. A pause to be sure all is well. And 5.
Your first shot. Knock your arrow, draw your bow, and relax. We've got 1 arrow in the target.
That's 1 out of 10. Was that yours?
Well, actually, yes, it was.
It was.
But nevertheless...
You've been reading Ascham.
Well, we never said this would be easy. But as we are finding, a basic level of skill comes quickly when we've had some chance to practice.
It's only about half an hour later, and 50% of our team's arrows are hitting somewhere on the target. We're using bows of about 30 to 40 pounds. That's not the weight of the bow, that's the amount of pressure required to draw the string back to the anchor point. Now, the anchor point could be the chin, could be the side of the mouth. A really skilled archer would draw the bow right back until the string was beside his ear.
After an hour, there is real improvement. 3/4 of the shots are now good. And we're beginning to think we can win at this game, except for one thing. The team is in agony.
It's one of the major problems of archery throughout history. It was really difficult to find men who are strong and fit enough to be first-class archers. You need a huge amount of upper body strength. The strain on the chest and arms is extraordinary. You need a good health, a good diet, a good eye, and lots of practice, which is exactly what our team is going to get.
But there's more in store for the Conquest team when we change the surroundings and show them what winning with the bow is really like. The team is practicing against targets on the archery range, and even if that's good for them, it can be pretty dull. Let's have some fun and give them a change of costumes and scenery and take them someplace where winning is easy. Now our team is in the middle of the woods, a place that has always been a natural habitat for the bowman and a very dangerous one for the armoured knight. In legend, Robin Hood is said to have made Sherwood Forest impossible to pass through without threat of ambush. It's not hard to see why. Armour is heavy and makes passage through the woods slow and difficult. The archers are after that intriguing black bag and won't think twice about killing to get it. Our bowmen have a tremendous advantage. They are much faster. They can run and they can hide. The prize is a fine set of armour, bound for a night in a nearby castle, and worth enough to support these merry men for a year or more.
Individual archers with the best equipment could be extremely effective, especially in forests. But most medieval battles weren't fought in forests. They were fought on wide open fields, where the commanders had control of their army, and where the cavalry knights could ride to magnificent victories. Most medieval commanders used their archers only for the initial attack in a battle, for siege work, or for mass volleys against dense targets. Archers were neither expected nor allowed to win battles. That was the job of the knights. The bow had a serious image problem.
In medieval Europe, the bow was used by gentlemen only for the hunt. They scorned it as a weapon of war. It was unchivalrous, used by cowardly peasants and mercenaries. Most bows had to be cheap to make and easy to use, requiring little skill to achieve a basic ability. And most archers were just not valuable enough to feed well and train regularly. Still, every so often, they did make a difference, which is why commanders bothered with them in the first place. As the Bayeux Tapestry illustrates, William the Conqueror of Normandy had archers among his troops, while the Saxons of England did not. Until the later Middle Ages, the archer was the most despised man on the battlefield.
But this doesn't make sense. Surely the value of this weapon is obvious. It's an absolute killer. Or is it? I want to show you two things. The first is my bicep. Now, I'm very proud of it. I think it's absolutely magnificent. But a medieval archer would laugh at that. The second thing is my suitcases. Now, this one here weighs 100 pounds, and this one weighs 50 pounds. And I can barely lift them up. The first-class warbow had a drawing strength of 150 pounds. That's about 50 pounds push with the left hand and 100 pounds pull with the right. Except, of course, this is only a 30-pound bow. If it was actually 150 pounds, I couldn't even draw it, let alone shoot it. Now, you would need a first-class archer of great stamina, great strength, and who had trained all his life. Only the English longbowman came anywhere near that ideal, and he was the exception.
England's archers, in fact, were the elite among the bowmen of the Middle Ages. They were so good because the English developed a culture of archery, in which young boys learned and practiced with powerful longbows from the time they could walk. Known for their strength and accuracy, the longbowmen of England became feared on the battlefield. However, our team is like the rest of Europe's combat archers. They were the army draftees of their time. They weren't that strong, their bows were not that powerful, and their aim was not that good. But at least they're getting better.
Our team are well practiced now, feeling confident. But to find out how good they would be as combat archers on the battlefield, we need to give them a new target. A live target. Me.